Howdy, friends, and welcome back to the Daily Weekly, broadcasting here from KCIW 100.7, community radio for the Wild Rivers Coast. I'm your host, Dakotah Daily, and we are coming to you live from the traditional and unceded territory of the Chetco and Tututni people. You're tuned in for an hour of hot takes and hot tracks, and today's episode is a deep one. We're calling it Memory Holes in Manufactured Backlash. Now, that might sound like a mouthful, but stick with me. Today's playlist actually came from one of our listeners, one of our OG fans who's been supporting this production since before it was even an idea, really. And they sent along a piece of writing that, well, it reads like a dispatch from the last 70 years of American political history, told through the eyes of someone who's been paying very close attention. This episode is about how memory gets lost or taken, how media spins truth into noise, and how much every time we get a glimpse of progress, there's a whiplash and a backlash. From the civil rights movement to the digital age, it's the same story told with new tools, new tactics, new algorithms, but the same old greed. But it's also about resistance and the people who see through the fog. Songwriters who take our grief, our confusion, and our outrage and turn it into something sharp, something honest, something you can hum while the world burns. We're starting with songs from the 60s and working our way forward. You'll hear protest ballads, political anthems, and poetic warnings, all from artists who had something to say, even when the powers that be tried to drown it all out. So buckle up, folks. This isn't just a stroll down memory lane. It's a spotlight on what they would rather we forget. Now let's get it started with The Sound of Silence, a song about what happens when no one's listening, and the silence is louder than the truth. This first one's a classic, a song that opens in a whisper and ends like a sermon. Paul Simon wrote The Sound of Silence in the shadow of the Kennedy assassination, and it came out in 1964. But it didn't really take off until the Electric remix hit the charts in 65. One of the most cutting lines in the whole song is, "People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening." That right there, those are the conditions that allow propaganda to work. That's how you build a culture where folks see injustice, but they won't name it. Where the news is loud, but it says nothing. Where silence isn't peaceful, it's complicit. This whole episode is about those silences, what gets buried, forgotten, or rewritten. So let's start right where Simon and Garfunkel did, in the dark.